What's up, Ranger fans? It's your buddy Daddy Louie. Sorry, I'm having to adjust my lights here. How's everybody's Monday going today? Hope good. I have a treat for you guys today. My mic volume is low. All right, let's see what I can do about that. Is that any better? Let me know. It might have just been because my microphone was really far away from my face. I hope everybody's Monday is going great. Mine is just okay. Was feeling a little under the weather yesterday, so I actually stay home from work. I stay homed from work. So you guys get to see me streaming in my Christmas pajamas today, because I haven't changed all day. I'm just waiting for a couple more people to join. Okay, good. So that means that now that it's closer to my face, you can hear me. Oh, hey, Rom. Oh, that's a bummer that you can't stay. But thank you for coming by and saying hello. And it's good that you watch the YouTubes. That's good. So today we are painting King. Oh, let me do the rest of my intros. I'm just all over the place. I am Daddy Louie. I am a member of the Circle of Nerds. You can find all of my content over on youtube.com/Circle of Nerds. Going over there and subscribing to that is the best thing that you can do right now to support me. If you want to support me some more, you can find more at patreon.com/Circle of Nerds. If you just can't get enough of me because YouTube and Patreon just do not have enough Daddy Louie for you, you can find me on all social media. I'm all over the place. I even have a TikTok, and I've started posting to TikTok pretty regularly, like one a day for the last few days. I'd say that's pretty regularly for me. Anyway, you don't want to hear me talk anymore. We're going to paint. God, I can't talk today. We're going to paint King Mondo. And right before the stream started, I was looking at this model, and I had instant regrets. Because, man, this model is a beast. There are just details all over the stinking place. But I have a reference picture up, and this is going to be interesting. So join me along for the ride. Let me switch my camera to... What am I doing here? There we go. Let's get down onto the model here. So as you can see, he is nice and shiny. That is because we are painting this guy metallic. So we are going to paint all of his metal bits metallic, and we're going to paint all of his cloth bits, which aren't much. I guess the sleeves on his arm, he's got like a bushy collar, and then he's got like a little skirt down below here. Now, the reference pictures for King Mondo are awful. They're really, really bad. So there's, I got one that's pretty decent. That's the one that I'm primarily going to be using. But we may need to take a couple of liberties. So I hope y'all don't mind that. So yeah, the most important thing for this model is going to be the blue. So he is primarily blue. Most of his metal on his armor is blue. But then he has some copper, and copper is not a color that I'm comfortable with. So you may need to experiment with a few of the metallics that I have. And then he has some gold. The gold that's on him is pretty bright gold. And then this thing here that's on his waist, I don't know what the heck it is. It's almost like the inside is almost like a tan or a brown color. But we may end up painting that bronze or brass like we do like some of the other outlines. The real challenging part, aside from all of the many different colors, because holy moly is he multicolored, is going to be this gear on his back. Because the gap between the gear and the back of his armor is pretty... it's pretty terrible. It's not. And then he's got this cloth thing, and I think the cloth thing is blue too. I don't know. Do you need me to look for any specific reference images? I mean, if you can find an image of his back, or this, it almost looks like a mini cape that goes over his, I guess it would be his left shoulder. In the picture that I have, it looks blue. So it looks like it's attached here, and then it's blue over top there, and then this is like a gold image. But on the but on this gear here, all these parts on the outside are silver. But so the outside of the gear is silver. This in here is that same brass color. So getting into that spot right there is going to be a challenge. I'm lagging. Let me check my stream strength. My stream strength is good. My PC's not overloading. There's no skip things. Let me know if that continues. I don't want to have to restart the stream. Like shut it down and restart it. But if it doesn't get any better, that's the only thing that I can really do to improve it. I could kill the music too, but that shouldn't affect it very much. So just let me know if it continues. So for the metallic, like I said, most of the metallic is blue. So the best way that I found to do blue metallics is contrast. So I primed the entire model with lead Belcher spray from Games Workshop, and then I'm going to start with Talisar blue. The problem with doing this method that I've found so far, and maybe there's someone out there that can give me some hints on how to fix this problem, is that if I screw up at all, there's no fixing it. So once the blue goes on, if I get anything else on the blue, hey, what's up, Mr. Deacon? If I get anything on the blue, there's no way of going back and correcting that. So that is the downside. But anyway, I digress. Okay, so let's get started with this contrast paint here. Because it's going to take a second to dry, and we've got a whole lot of other colors to get into. And this model is definitely going to take at least 2 streams, so I don't expect this to expect us to finish this today. Just because, like I said, there is a lot of details that we need to go over. How's the leg? Okay, just let me know if it starts acting up again. Like I said, I think the only way really to correct that is to restart the stream. And I don't want to have to do that because that will mess up Renegade's ability to upload the video to YouTube later. So with the blue metallic like this, the paint will try to separate because we're not using that typical contrast specific undercoat. We're not using Wraithbone or Gray Seer. So you can see here when I try and paint onto this metallic, you see it's already starting to separate, and so you need to just continuously go back over it until it starts to get tacky. How do I have the patience for this? I like it, actually. The patience helps me gain clarity. It helps me release stress. It's weird. I'll look at that link in a second. This part, this part of painting, I need to make sure that the paint is settling properly. So if I put the brush down and then it dries, then we're in trouble. The big problem is the flat surfaces. Like you see here on the back, you can see it starting to separate there. You see all those little silver parts. Sure that's not metallic blue, that part right there. So this part, I'm really just trying to get the blue on the parts that need to be metallic blue. If it gets other places, that's 100% okay, because all the other places, including the silver, even though the model is primed silver, I'll need to go over them again anyway, so it's all good. This color, when it dries, is going to be the perfect King Mondo metallic blue color. And I know this from, I've painted 2 models the way that I'm doing this. One of them was actually on stream. I did an Ninja in a metallic blue. So that's how I know that the color is perfect. So now I'm just trying to make sure that I clean up some of the parts where it's pooling really strong. Because again, once that color goes on, that's the color that it's going to stay. I'm not going to be able to highlight it or anything like that. I do have a metallic blue paint from scale 75. We'll have to see. If it matches. It probably doesn't. I think it's more of like a light metallic blue. Maybe I can use it for highlighting. I doubt it. Paint's not staying on in the back on those flat surfaces because the primer didn't get into the cracks of the gear here. Right now I am painting with Talisar contrast. Talisar blue contrast paint. The other option that we have here is to wait for the first coat to dry. No, not at all. I actually, this is actually a fun way of painting. The other thing that I painted this way was Thanos for Marvel Crisis Protocol because I wanted his armor to look shiny. And it turned out great too. So, like I said, I've got some experience painting this way. If you hadn't suggested this, I think that the model actually would look a little funny because he has a lot of metallics on him. So there's a lot of brass, there's a lot of silver, a lot of gold, and then the blue would have looked really flat. I'm just looking at the picture, making sure that I don't miss. And if you guys see anything, call me out on it. But I want to make sure that I'm not missing any metallic blue bits before I put this color away. Yeah, that looks like it's all the blue. Thanks, Mr. Deacon. I have seen those models, actually. Atomic and I have been chit-chatting about them. Because he's in the UK and you can't order them in the US. And rumor has it that there's a possibility that there may be another one as well. Around his collar, across the chest. Here? On my picture, this looks silver. I'm just having the worst time getting color in this area back here because when I primed him, the paint didn't get in between in here where I'm pointing to right now. So when I put contrast back there, it's not staying. Not a huge deal, because you're only going to see it if you're like really looking, but being the perfectionist that I am, it's bothering me. All right. Let's look at these pictures. All right, let me look at these pictures. The second image you sent me didn't work. Yeah, that thing's his big fluffy thing. It's still so hard to see what the heck he's got in there. Alright, I promise all that stuff. Alright, let me check this picture. Oh, I see what you mean. That fluffy thing. Yeah, there's going to be streaks of blue, but that won't be... I see what you're talking about. I think I might paint this blue. So that will be blue. We actually have to paint that white first. That's going to be not fun at all. This has some blue on it, so I'm going to go ahead and put some blue on it as well. So while we are painting this character, one of the things that I was really looking forward to is hearing history about it and stuff, because I am not familiar with the character as far as the show and stuff goes. So why does he look so weird and interesting? And yeah, I just want, I can't wait to read what you guys write about the character in the chat. I know you talked about this already, but just to clarify, the contrast paint is pooling because the primer isn't a contrast primer or because it's a metallic primer. So it's yes and no. It's not specifically because it's a metallic primer. It's because of just this particular style of primer. So if you were to get... you know, they say to buy Wraithbone or Grey Seer, right? Because those are what they call like their contrast sprays, like the contrast undercoats. They don't call them a primer, but it's like the contrast undercoat. And there's just, it's more about the type of paint that's used. If you were to get, if you were to just go to the hardware store and you were to buy a white or an off-white Rust-Oleum spray can primer and prime your miniature, you would be able to use contrast with that with little problem. It wouldn't do the separation. And you might be able to find some silver, some metallic. But if I don't know if anybody in the chat has ever primed with a metallic with the lead belcher paint, and it's really hard to explain without you actually being here to like touch it and feel it. But it's very slippery. It doesn't have a lot of grab like some other primers do. So that's why the paint was separating like that. Now the paint's separating on the back. You guys can't really see it very well, but it's definitely doing it. Because nothing even got in there. It's bare plastic. Even though I tried to spray there, there's a spot like right there behind this cog where there's no primer at all. But you can see how nice and shiny that is as it's drying. Like if you look at a screenshot of King Mondo from the show, it's that exact color blue. So it's a really nice match, and I'm really, really happy with it. So I'm going to let that dry for a second while we chat and I look at my metallics and see. Also, if you look at a screenshot of King Mondo, his gold that is on him is not as it's not as a warm yellow color as I shouldn't say it's not as warm of an orange gold like Retributor armor. So we may actually not use Retributor armor for the gold. I gotta see. Balthazar gold might make a good... We might actually try all these. We might just shake all these up. So I've got Liberator gold. That's definitely a really bright listen to me. Bright gold. Warlock bronze. You guys can't see even what I'm looking at. So Warlock bronze, that might be too dark for the brass. But this Balthazar gold might actually be a great brassy color for Mondo. So we're going to keep that out. I need like a really yellow. So what we might do for the gold is we may, because he's got primarily he's silver, gold, and brass, or bronze. I think I'm gonna call it brass because that's what it's closest to. So his gold is really like a yellowy gold. I know that I think there's a gold that GW makes. Let me check my other thing and see if I've got some. No, not really. So that's what we're going to do. So for the gold, or for the brass, we'll use Balthazar gold. For the gold, we will use Retributor armor first, and then we'll brighten it with Liberator gold. These will be useless to us. His silver isn't very shiny, so we'll probably be okay with Lead Belcher. These won't work. And then I'm going to pull out black metal, and this cobalt metal. We might need to use those too. I'll pull thrash metal out too. So we got lots of different metallics to work with. I'm just trying to figure out, honestly, what the best color is to start with here. I think probably starting with the... Let's just start with the brass. We can mess around, right? We can go back and forth. Some of these I haven't used in forever, so I hope they're still good. Like the Balthazar Gold. Oh yeah, it's still good. Can you guys hear the vibrating of the paint stirrer? A 90-minute AMA. What is AMA? I don't even know what that is. Oh, ask me anything. Well, we could do that while I'm working. You guys can ask me questions. As long as they're you know, family friendly. I do not skip your questions. Yeah, this is a really nice color. I like this a lot. Alright, let's see. Yeah, like I said, keep them family friendly, and I'll answer them. We'll save the inappropriate ones for when I stream on Circle of Nerds. I don't want to get Renegade in trouble. How do you think families are made? Well, first you have a mommy, and then you have a daddy. And then a stork brings a baby. And then you raise that baby, and they're a pain in the butt. And they talk back, and they don't appreciate shit. And hopefully you've decided to not have more than one before you realize that. And then you switch to being a dog person, and you just love your dogs more than your kids. And that's how a family is made. Nope, storks. Man, I might have to actually put some metallic on my So this metallic is actually much thicker than some of the other ones. I usually don't water down my metallics, but this we might have to. Just took a look at the wiki for Mondo. It's been a while since I saw Zio. There's no real history to him apart from he's the leader of the Machine Empire, and Rita and Zed are kind of afraid of him when he shows up. Mondo doesn't have an interesting history. He's just a really, really strange looking fella. So as I paint, like I told you at the beginning of the video, I have to be very careful not to get any colors on the blue that I don't want, because it's really hard to fix. So if I go radio silent for a second because I'm like holding my breath so I don't screw up, I apologize in advance. Blame the Japanese. Yeah, they make some interesting villains, for sure, to be polite. He also gets blown up midway through by the Rangers and gets rebuilt. So he's 100% machine. Is it true that you spent 3 years in Korea as an English teacher and that's how you met your wife? Do I really have a wiki? Somebody needs to update that thing if I do. No, that is not true. I did spend a year in Korea, but not 3. And my wife is not Korean. I did not meet her there. I was actually in Korea by myself, like I said, for a year. I was there from 2008 to 2009. Yeah, that's, I don't know anything about that. So that's a great color. It's literally like almost perfect compared to the reference picture, at least the one. It's a little shinier. It's a little duller on the picture, but that's okay. Works out good. For what I've got on hand here, that's a perfect color. It's a lot of silver. He has a lot of silver on him. So what else does my wiki say? It suggested that you have the world record for having built the largest collection of red single nub Legos. Okay. No, but that's interesting. I don't even really own any Legos. I have a few Star Wars Legos on my display behind me, and that's about it. Hey, Shag. Welcome to the stream. Alright, you little son of a biscuit. I like how Alex wanted to do Ask Me Anything, but no questions that weren't inappropriate. We're a family-friendly show, man. I like the way that brass color looks, guys. And that blue metallic is great, too. My birthday is April 12th. This crown has like all these like cog divots in it, and it's like, unless I get like super close to it, hold on. All right. I think, nope. I was like, oh, I'm done with this color already. And I was like, nope, no, you're not. So what did everybody do this weekend? Tell me all about your weekend, guys. Do you put water in the pot? What pot? This pot? I don't put water in my paint pot. I have water on the palette a little bit. This particular metallic is very thick. So I'm just trying to keep it a little wet. Oh, no. It's just probably just the reflection of the light. always have trouble with adding water to paint. How much water? So the palette has a sponge underneath that just stays wet all the time. So I don't have to worry about like how much water to add because it's usually the same amount that's on there all the time. If I have a paint that I need to water down, I actually don't use water to water it down. I use airbrush thinner, and it's in a dropper bottle, so I just put like 1 drop at a time. Usually 1 drop is all I need, because the drops are usually pretty big. I'll show you in a second. But metallics, usually I don't water down at all, for the most part. I am with this one just because it came out of the bottle really thick. And it might be too because I've had this pot for probably years, and I don't know that I've ever even used it. It might have been brand new, just sitting there, so. Let me make sure that I got all the little pegs. Nope. Yeah, the water goes in the palette. Or you're talking about the airbrush thinner that goes on the palette too. It'll also revitalize some of the older paints that are sitting on there. I'll show you. Check out my wiki. Hold on. Let's see. Let's check out my wiki. What? That's pretty funny, actually. Refuses to paint without licking his paintbrush. That's very true. That's very, very true. So let's look at the. I like that I beat Jason David Frank in an arm wrestling contest. All right, so this is the airbrush thinner that I use, and let's take for example this maroon color up here. I haven't used that in a couple of days. One little tiny drop onto that paint. And now I can paint with that color again without having to get more. See? So, it works really, really well. All right. So what are we gonna do now? I feel like I'm pretty good on that brass for a little bit. The blue is dry, which is good. So I'm looking at my photo, and I guess we'll do. You know what? Let's do the. Let's work on the cloth. Yeah, let's do the cloth bits. I still don't know what color I'm gonna paint that cloak looking thing on his back. Because those pictures that you showed me, Alex, I'm not convinced that any of those actually showed that part. So I don't know. Play it by ear. So for the cloth, we're going to do a base coat of Celestia Gray. Uh, that's just to get good coverage so that the white is a little easier to paint. It might be black and gold, but it's really, really hard to tell from the pictures. Man, the regular paint's not really sticking to that silver either. Hey, TR. Welcome to the stream. Wet palettes are just the best thing ever. If you have any specific wet palette questions, I can try to answer them. I'm definitely not an expert, but I've been using them for years now. And I can't imagine painting without one. A friend of mine actually got me into them. Really bumped up my painting. A jelly instead of a sponge. I haven't seen that. You know, you can make your own wet palette if you want. I buy mine. I'm not a fan of just making my own because, I don't know, I just like buying it. The palette I'm using now is an Everlasting Wet palette from Redgrass. I've actually ordered a new one, but thanks to COVID, it is uber delayed and could be like 6 weeks before I get it, so that's kind of dumb. Tracking says it was last in Germany. I don't know. We'll see. But there's lots of different ones that you can buy. This Army Painter makes one now that's pretty good. Or like I said, you can just make your own. Lots of people do. And it's very inexpensive. You probably have everything in your house to make one right this second. I don't know if I would use a jelly thing. I mean, I don't know what that is. I haven't seen that. It might be like the thing that this is made out of, because this isn't a sponge. I don't actually know what this is. They call this like the membrane. I shouldn't have done that. Now I have a wrinkle. But yeah, that's what this uses. Like I said, they call it the membrane. And I think that's just what Redgrass calls it. It was originally a Kickstarter. Now they sell them on their website. They have two different sizes. They have like the studio version, which is big. That's the one that I have on ordered. And then there's the small version, which I recommend if you're gonna get one, just get the big one. It's one of those things that like you buy the small one thinking, like I'll just upgrade if I need it, and then you use it for 2 days and you're like, yeah, I should have just bought the bigger one. He said his cloak is definitely black. It's just weird that it's black because there's like nothing else on him that's black. I'm not saying you're wrong. I blame the Japanese. Again. Are you saying Redgrass? Yeah, Redgrass. I think it's Redgrass Games. Let me see. Let me take a look. Yeah, red grass. One word. and it's called the Everlasting Wet Palette. Yeah, no problem. Um, if you're in the U.S. And you don't want to wait like 6 weeks to get it, because that's, like I said, I ordered mine like 3 weeks ago and I still don't have it. Like I said, there is one. Army Painter makes one now, and I've heard a lot of good things from other people. So the reason that I chose not to get that one is because it's the same size as the current one that I have. How much do I want for my old wet palette? Autographed on the bottom. I don't know. Maybe we can do like a charity thing. If that's something that people actually want. Because I certainly won't need it anymore once the new one comes. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. And then donate the money to like a charity or something. That'd be fun. I'd say like Toys for Tots or something Christmas related. But I don't know if I'll have it by then. We just wrapped our donations today, actually. Alright, I need more paint. I definitely don't need more Citadel paint. No, I would definitely, if I were to do it, it would definitely be like a charity thing. Gotta help out. Help out where I can. Looking at the footage and it does look black. Alright, well. It's a weird that it's that color, but Um, so if I were to do a non-Renegade stream over on our Circle of Nerds Twitch, and I were to paint something not Power Ranger related, is that something that people would be interested in? And the main reason why I wouldn't paint something Power Ranger related is because I'm trying to keep all of my unpainted models for Power Rangers unpainted, so that if I get called on to paint something specific, I've got it. You know, like I wouldn't want to paint something and then 2 days later they're like, hey, can you paint the blah 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 Ranger, and I'm like, well, crap, like I already painted that. That's something that I haven't done. I have streamed on the Circle of Nerds Twitch page a couple of times in the past, but it has not been. They've not been painting streams. They've been unboxing videos mostly of like other Kickstarters that I've gotten, and stuff like that. So I'm looking to see if there's any other white. I see one other thing that's white. Yeah, a He-Man painting stream would be good. I have a couple of pre-recorded painting videos on my YouTube page already. I think one is for Relic Blade. I think I painted a Pig Warrior for Relic Blade, and then I think the other painting videos are, I think I painted, maybe I did one for Bulk and Skull. Actually, I don't think I ever published that. I think I have the recording of it. I did Alpha 5. I did Billy the Blue Ranger. I don't remember what else. I think there's a couple other ones. You have an El Cheapo Hasbro Deluxe Megazord. It should be painted to be show accurate. Is that like one of the big ones? Like that comes apart and stuff? This part under here is white. I wonder if it's the same one I have. It just released in August. Okay, so it's not like a remake of the original. I have like the remake of the original. Alright, so now that I have painted that white on there, it's not white, it's gray, but close enough. I'm going to put some contrast on it in a second. This is a weird spot of the model as well. In here. He's got like mechanics, mechanisms and stuff in there. There's like some cords and some different colored cables and stuff. Seeing if I messed up anywhere. I got white. Yeah, this color. I have to take my wet palette upstairs after the stream and refresh it. Man, this song is jamming. His staff is really strange too. Silver will probably be the last color that I do because it'll basically just be touching up the silver that I've already jacked up. So yeah, contrast. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. I've been on a roll with the Crisis Protocol paintings lately. They're wonderful models. They've been really fun to paint. Right now I'm just testing colors real quick. Bear with me. Do I want that color? So for those that are wondering what I'm doing with the contrast, I'm trying to come up with a color. I don't think I like that one. Actually, maybe we'll do blue. Let me look at some of these pictures that you guys sent me here. Alright, I think I'm going to experiment a little bit. Yeah, if you're into Marvel, even if you don't ever play the game, the models are worth their price. For sure. Just like Renegades. I don't. I mean, I very rarely get to play. Haven't played in a long, long time. And I buy every single release because the models are just wonderful to paint and display, like, on the shelf. So right now I'm using Dragonoff Nightshade, which is a blue wash, to get blue in the crevices of the sleeves, and I'll show you why once it's dry. You do not have to do this if you don't want to. This is just my preferred way of doing this. It adds an extra step, but I think it'll look nice. No worries, Alex. Yeah, hopefully we'll be able to finish Mondo next week. I don't see why not. I've been trying to take my time so that way we don't have to fix any screw-ups, which helps a lot. Is everybody excited for the card game? Did anybody get a chance to play it yet? I think I got a message today that said today was the last day for pre-orders. So I guess if you haven't seen it, make sure that you go and check it out so you don't miss it. I was hoping that I would get a review copy to do on the Circle of Nerds channel, but unfortunately I didn't make the cut. So I'll be seeing it when everybody else sees it, I guess. While I let that dry, I think it's time to start busting out the gold. Um, I'm not sure, honestly, what Renegade's process is for getting review copies. Like, I go through Terry, um, because she's the one that, like, I'm pretty sure she's in charge of that. And, so, like, I'm on the list, um, according to her. You know, I'm on the list to get copies, but I think that the list is rather long. And Renegade, very smartly, uh, gives out copies of games to more established channels first, and then works their way down based on how many copies they have. Um, so that's when I say I didn't make the cut. That's kind of what I mean. There were just more established channels that got the crack at it before I could. So. But when it's like literally the moment that I saw that the game was coming out, because card games are actually my bread and butter when it comes to my review channels. Obviously, I like miniatures games a lot, um, but when it comes to like reviewing, my preferred game is actually card games. So the second that it was announced, even the RPG, like they announced, you know, that there would be an RPG. So before there were any pictures or spoilers or anything, I like immediately messaged Terry and I was like, hey, just, you know, want to make sure I'm on the list. And then when the very first preview came out, I think it was from Man vs. Meeple. I messaged her again and I was like, oh man, you know, like how do I get on this? In a non-annoying way. I wasn't like messaging her every 5 seconds, like, send it to me now. You know, and she kind of explained the process a little more to me, which again, I understand. You know, they got to go where the viewers are, so someday that will be me, I hope. Yeah, same. I'm excited for that as well. So as this gold is going on this character, this is Retributor armor. And as the gold is going on, so long as I don't put a wash on it, I don't think that I need to go any brighter. It's actually, let me zoom in here. It's actually a good contrast to the brass that's on the other parts. So I don't think I need to go more yellow than that. I guess this pipe is silver over here. Yeah, some gold. Yeah, I've not actually played a Renegade RPG before, but I've heard really, really good things. So on the subject of card games, have you played Marvel Champions? I have. I own the base set. I haven't picked up any of the expansions yet, mostly because the game was still relatively new when COVID hit, and I just haven't. I just haven't picked up any other of the expansions, but I plan to. Um, and I enjoy the game a lot. I actually, if it's not on my YouTube channel now, I do have a um, I do have a Let's Play that I did with my buddy from Italy. He came over to visit. As a matter of fact, I don't think it's on my YouTube channel, and the reason that I didn't post it is because we realized after we were done that we made a lot of mistakes, um, like rules mistakes. Um, and unfortunately, we only got to play the one game. But honestly, there's not many card games that I haven't played. I have played a lot of card games. Yeah, I actually haven't played it solo. Which is crazy with COVID, and I probably should bust it out. When I get solo time, that sounds dirty. When I get solo time, I usually spend all of it painting. So, like, if the wife leaves to go do something or, whatever, I have spent all of my, especially recently, either recording videos for the YouTube channel or painting. But usually 9 times out of 10 it's painting. Because I kind of have like a separate schedule for YouTube video recording. So like there's certain days and times that I have set aside for recording and editing and stuff like that. So unless I'm doing like extra videos or I happen to be behind, which has happened a few times, my free time is usually spent painting. But I really should bust out some solo games. So like when the wife and I are watching TV in the living room, I can play a solo game like on the coffee table while we're watching TV. But pretty soon the painting is going to slow down. I'm almost completely caught up, finally, in Marvel. And then I'm going to take a painting, not break, but I won't be painting anything else until the new Marvel stuff comes in, or like when I do the Renegade streams. I may do some personal streams, and I might keep working on some of the contest models, because I've got 4 of the 11 done, so I have, what was that, 6 left? No, 7 left, because there's 11 total in that box. So I have 2 Psycho and 2 Space, and there's 6 Psycho and 5 Space. So yeah, so I have 7 models left to do. So I'll probably do some of those on... No, I'm not painting the Quantrons. I mean, I'll paint my Quantrons, but I'm not going to paint the ones for the contest. It's just for the big stuff. So I've got, for Marvel, I have 4 mutants left to paint. I have to paint Thanos' throne. And then I have 1 surprise model that is not part of the Marvel line, but goes with the Marvel game. So it's not an official model. It's actually something I got on Etsy, and it's a surprise. I'm not going to say anything. That actually, I might end up painting that on stream, because I think people would like to see that, because it's kind of like a bonus model. But I've told myself that I'm not going to paint it until Thanos' throne is done and everything else is done painted. And then there aren't any new releases until like the second week of January, so that gives me time to get caught up and then focus on something else for a little bit. Well, he's coming along quite nicely. I think the last thing I'm going to do is put some gold on the staff, and then we'll call it cloak, robe for the gold. Oh, that's right. Well, where is it gold? Is it just gold on this little part right here? Because in my picture, all this other cloak stuff is all blue. On the picture I'm looking at. But right here, there's some gold. Yeah, okay. Good call. So I'll do that. I'll put some gold on the staff, and we'll call him done for today. Yeah, he's very flamboyant, for sure. Also, like, these little divots in his shoulder, those are red. So I still gotta do the red. There's just so many different colors. It's kind of crazy. Alright, let's see. What is gold on the staff? Let's see. This is gold. This is gold. It's just so strange, like... So next stream, we will tidy up all the silver. We'll paint those red bits that I just showed you. We will paint his little cloak black. We will finish painting the sleeves, the white bits that we put the wash on. And then we'll have to paint a couple of different colored cables and stuff here on his little middle part. And he should be done after that. So it shouldn't be too difficult to finish. If we have time, we'll do something fancy with the base, since this model isn't... Let's see, what else is gold? Sorry. This model is not for the contest, so I don't have to... I can do whatever I want with the base, basically. For everybody that's watching, it says there's 9 people on the stream, it looks like. If you are not already, please go and subscribe to my YouTube channel. That's really helpful for me. YouTube.com/Circle of Nerds. Also look for me on social media. I have the TikTok stuff now, and we're doing a lot of really fun things. So we're also on Patreon, patreon.com/Circle of Nerds. Go check that out. We have some exclusive content over there as well. All that does a really good job of supporting me as a content creator. I really appreciate it. I wanted to get that out of the way now because I noticed the last couple weeks, like by the time I'm saying that, it's down to like 2 people left in the stream. So we'll do that early today. A disco bass? I wouldn't even know how to do that or how to even begin. On my picture, I can't tell if this entire cog up here with these 2 little wings is all gold or not. I don't know if it looks like it might be like half gold and half that bronze color, but I cannot tell. It looks like this here is gold. It's half and half gold and bronze, and the cog is silver. This is silver? You should see my picture. The picture that I've got, it makes the whole thing look gold. Wait, this half over here is gold? Let me look at your picture. Oh. see. Alright, well, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to paint the whole thing gold for now, since I have the gold out. And then next week, we will adjust the other colors. I'll have to have a picture saved on my computer. But this way, if we get them all painted, if we get it all painted gold now, then I won't have to paint any gold next week. Easier to fix. Let me look at that picture again. Huh. Yeah, the picture that I have makes the part that's connected to the staff look like it's the part that's bronze. We may just need to take some liberties, and that's okay. It'll look good regardless. Alright, that's enough of that crap. So much metallic. Thanks, Alex, for making me do all this metallic. He's just a big metallic beast. We got a lot done. It doesn't look like it, but we really did. We got the hard parts done. Cleaning up the silver won't take long. Yeah, we'll be all right. I think it looks pretty good so far. There you go. Now you can see a little better. So I think it looks pretty good so far. Thanks to everybody for joining me on the stream. We will be back next week to finish him up, hopefully. I don't know. There's still a lot to do. We'll see. Hopefully it'll go well. We'll just get straight into the stream and we'll just get started. Like I said a minute ago, there's 12 people in the stream, so I'm going to say it again. The best thing that you can do to support me as a streamer, go to my YouTube, youtube.com/Circle of Nerds. Hit the subscribe button. Helps me out a ton. We also have Patreon, patreon.com/Circle of Nerds. Thanks always to Renegade for having me on stream. It's my favorite thing to do throughout the week, so I'm really happy to be here with you guys. We'll finish this up next Monday, same time, 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific is when we start here on the channel. Make sure that, remember that today is the last day to pre-order the Renegade's Power Ranger card game, so make sure that you go and do that if you haven't already. Find me on all social media. Ask me any questions that you want. I'm happy to answer them, give advice, whatever it is that you guys need. So, thanks everybody for the chat. It was a good chat. We talked about a lot today. Make sure everybody is safe throughout the week. Take care of yourself. Take care of others. Be healthy. Stay safe. I think I said that already. And enjoy the rest of your week. Make sure that you guys play your games. All right, guys. Have a good week.